Welcome to another battle report here on the Critical Focus channel. Today I am piloting an old love of mine, the GODSWORN Hunt. As a lover of low-tier warbands, I've always come back to these guys. I am complementing their deck, and boy does it need complementing, with the Breakneck Slaughter rival deck, and probably between 80 to 90% of the deck is made up of the latter. My opponent is playing the Sepulchral God 2.0 with a side order of Paths of Prophecy. He will be looking to grab them battlefield objectives, and with the help of some defensive stuff from the Paths of Prophecy, stay there. But I reckon he will be doing some punching back as well. Let the mayhem commence. In the first activation, the raspy voice of the Warden commands the Champion and the Harvester to go forth and claim crucial battlefield objectives. In the GODSWORN Hunt's first activation, unsurprisingly, they charge ferociously forward and start the killing straight off, with Grundon landing a brutal killing blow on the inevitable Petitioner. Warden counters with racing said Petitioner and playing worthless chaff as to hinder the GODSWORN Hunt to get any glory from killing any petitioners until the end of the round, or until one is killed. The Dark Gods gift Thedra with moving mark to buff her defense and give her momentum counters after moving. The newly inspired Thedra is now a level 2 wizard, and hence she tries to ask the gods for even more gifts with Glimpse the Future, and indeed she succeeds with casting it. So she now also has a reroll for her next attack, and then she charges forth next to Shond, assisted and with a reroll versus the Harvester. And after the reroll she has 2 successes, forcing the Harvester to crit to successfully defend, which he fails to do, so he is killed. Which also scores the GODSWORN Hunt a search objective, not fast enough for killing a fighter with a move and or charge token. Then the impetus must be resolved, and the Sepulchral God chooses to stagger Thedra there, pointing the hammer towards Shond. Which also scores me then out of control when the impetus ability staggers a friendly fighter, so quite lucky there. And then the Sepulchral Warden speaks his command again and raises the Harvester from the dead. Well, he's still dead. Which also then scores them Battle Without End for raising 2 in a round. 4-1. Headlong Sprinter is played on Grawl, that is the dog, the companion of Ollo. After a move with this fighter, 2 momentum counters are gained. He then charges forth, inspired now, because he is in the mood for bone, and he tries to bite at the Harvester, assisted from Grundon there. 3 swords, getting all the successes. So that's quite undefendable, and he pushes the Harvester back and then plays Sia as a reaction to his activation to hand over 1 momentum counter to Thedra and discard the remaining 1. I guess my reasoning here was that Thedra is already staggered, and I didn't want to have Grawl staggered as well. And then he uses the raised Inevitable Petitioner to try to strike Grundon. We have an incoming power move here with a crit there. Can't defend it, 1 damage, and then unsurprisingly he plays ceaseless attacks to choose another fighter to strike with as a reaction to a previous attack. And the Harvester, 3 swords, 2 damage, single assists. Yeah, I can't defend that. Grundon, you are ready to meet your gods. Quite a bloody start here. Then inertial lance is played on the bowman, that is Olo, so he gains a melee attack as well, to range to smash 2 damage, and after the deal damage step of this attack action he can hand over momentum counters to the opponent instead. I fail and I didn't have any momentum counters anyway. That's it for the first round. A challenge unanswered is scored for the Sepulchral Guard for having less friendly fights out of action than enemy fights out of action. 2 glory. So, quite a swing back there. Ancient Commander is played on the Sepulchral Warden to be able to push 3, and now he can also push himself. Also, the champ is given some frightening speed. Roll off round 2. 2 fools for the Sepulchral Warden. I only get 1. So sadly I lose it, and the Harvester starts with charging with his deadly scything attack there. Starts with Thedra, 3 swords, he gets 2 crits, I can't defend that. I could have, if I had a move or charge, but I'm not on 2 block yet. But I do play Quick Duke to get a guard token and momentum counters. And he then continues with Growl and sadly kills the poor dog. Sad, sad, sad. Animal abuse from the Sepulchral Guard. We don't like to see that on the channel, do we? Next up, I will have my vengeance in this life for the next. Thedra charges onto the objective to try to swipe at the Harvester with her Dark Oath stave, and she successfully brings him down. He's quite the deadly fighter inspired if you can get her to survive. I'm not sure what happened here. We pushed too many steps with the impetus there, but it didn't have a great game effect anyway. So it's okay. Slick Eyes, which means that every fighter that charges during the round will get a momentum counter. So crazy times ahead. Stubborn Stance is played on the champ, so he can't be pushed. And then he activates the champ, still uninspired. A crit though, I counter with a crit from Thedra. And then I charge with Olo there with the inertial lance. And I bring that petitioner down, which I now can get glory from. I also score Wild Impetus for resolving my 3rd impetus in the round. And the Warden activates to move the Rising and the Sealess. No, sorry, the Champ, I believe. I play Chaos Boom on Shond. So he gets +1 damage, but -1 wound, so that's quite a dangerous upgrade. But they are basically dead from the start anyway, so it's not a big deal. That's only 1 success, but that's enough. So his big sword is brought down on that. Prince of Dust, and then the impetus is resolved from the Slick Eyes. And Roll with the Punches is played for some possible damage reduction on my part. Spark of Independence is played on the Sealess Petitioner, I believe. The Warden Inspired chooses to move the Sealess one onto the objective. And himself as well, I believe, just 1 step. And then I activate Yagathra in my last activation. He's still uninspired. I get a crit there. I can't push that petitioner, but yeah, I actually failed to damage him also, and I get then pushed back with the impetus. Your lucky day is scored because he holds exactly 7 after an activation for 2 glory there. And Deathly Charge is played on the champ. It's a restricted card. I score Need for Speed in the end phase. Third round rolls around. I still lose the initiative, which is very frustrating because I'm sitting with that fairly easy search objective that I can score if I do the first damage in the round. But that's not gonna be scored. He starts with the Zealous and brings down my leader. And then I frustratingly show that card that I can't score. And then the Warden's Command is gifted to the Warden, which is basically you can raise 2, but you get a charge token for the effort. I play Unstoppable Warrior in an attempt to make a crazy Hail Mary here with Shond. He plays Protected by the Unseen for the Petitioner. I play Reckless Charge to get +1 dice and 2 momentum counters on Shond. So I'm stacking the odds here in my favor. He plays Fair Fortune on the Rising, I believe. So he gets Petitioner's Oath. So he can basically whack-a-mole back if he's killed. I play Devastating Charge as well on Shond. So also +1 damage. So and I have +1 dice, +1 damage, and Innate Sword. So I guess you can see what's going down here. I have 4 damage here with the Chaos Boon as well. So I'm 4 swords, cleave, and innate swords. So I'm charging his leader, obviously. But I roll no successes, but I have 1 innate. So drum roll. Can he land a crit? No, the Warden is brought down. That's just... I'm very proud of that power move, I must say. Lovely moment for me. I also score Crashing Assault from killing... or actually just attacking someone successfully, I guess, with 3 or more momentum counters. In his next activation, he discards an objective. And then I use Olo Inspired to try to bring down that Rising Petitioner. And I succeed. But he then banfers back. And as a reaction to being raised, he plays Startling Reformation to transport over to a Starting Hex on my side. And then he scores They Keep Coming for getting his second race count. And he moves the champ over to the objective. I play Breakneck Pace on Olo. But I failed to land any hits there with the inertial lens. But I do score Gale Force for making my 3rd attack action in the round. So it still served a purpose. And after that activation he scores Undying Watchman from holding 2 objectives and at least 1 being on my side. That's a 2 glory search. So 13-11. Anything can happen here. Silas moves into the middle ground, and I draw an objective for my last activation. He scores Eternal Legions in the end phase for having 3 or more friendly fighters in no man's or enemy territory. Well done. Just about nudged that one out. I score though Rapid Strike for having at least as many enemy fighters out of action as the round number, which is kind of hard to do versus the Sepulchral Guard that just keeps coming back, but they die pretty easily. So 15-13 is the total score. Obviously killing the Warden was very crucial for my success here. Otherwise I think we had like a fair amount of crits on both sides here, so it really could have gone either way. Yeah, but that probably, I mean, I had a good start with a couple of easy kills as well to get the glory going, and some decently passive glory with some stuff. But he also scored 2 glory searches here, so I think he did pretty well. This was like his first rodeo with the Sepulchral God as well, so yeah, I'm really proud of him here. He did well. So 15-13 for the GODSWORN Hunt, and very good to see them still be able to lift some heavy weight here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Take care. Bye. This is Mats again, chiming in to thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and to not miss out on future content, ring the bell as well. And if you really liked this video, feel free to click the thanks button just below this video. And if you want to support me even further, you can now become a channel member and claim the title of Critical Focus fan. Until next time, take care, bye.